Good evening, Brownsville. Good evening, BISD educators. And good evening to our show people watching out there.
Yes, we're
How are
back.
you? If this is Veronica Borrego, AOB president, in case you have forgotten per se. And then here next to me, I have the beautiful, lovely Miss Ida,
Ooh, I'll take that.
who
Thank
Mr.
you.
Robert Cisneros likes to call Dana
That.
White.
Oh my goodness.
And he says, you're what? You rock?
That I rock.
Only you rock, apparently.
Yeah. No, he. But
In case he's watching, and just in case he's watching, and I'm pretty sure he is, I'm waiting for my shirt.
yeah, he's a faithful viewer. Always following us and stuff. But oh yeah, I'm sure he'll be giving you that. He's gonna track one down for you.
He's
Be
gonna
be like
track
this.
one down for me. Yep.
Yeah, but no, we've got a lot of loyal people, and we appreciate that. We've
Yeah.
missed being away. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we've missed you guys. We've been away for a while. We've had a lot going on in our personal lives that has pulled us away. But
Yes.
we're back to continue season two.
Yes. There was a somewhere in there another break, but it is still season two.
It's still season two. We were on hiatus, but we're
Yeah.
back.
So,
Um, I don't know if you want to share a little bit of your experience and why we were out, Miss Ida, because I don't want to give that information out.
well, right. You don't want to violate HIPAA here, but I was out. Some of you do know I was out due to COVID. It hit a little hard and stuff. The month of February practically wiped me out. I can relate to a lot of people and what they're feeling, the after effects, the fatigue, the shortness of breath, all of these things. It's difficult. And I think I was just, also just very exhausted because I try to give 110% to our members and to our association work. But I'm back. I'm stronger. Taking all my vitamins, all my supplements, and everything I can take. Practicing on my breathing exercises to continue to develop, full deep breaths, because that does impact in a lot of different ways and stuff. And then with all of these, my gosh, these winds and these allergies have been brutal. And but oh my gosh, I am back by the grace of God and in full force. And we're in the campuses doing visits, talking to a lot of great people, getting firsthand information on how they feel, what they're going through, and we feel it with them, and we're going to continue to voice out our concerns, how they feel. We're going to continue to empower them to be able to voice out. I'm very proud of a lot of people that have gotten very bold and are able to speak up now, and that takes a lot for people to be able to do that. But that's what is helping us out to be able to get results overall,
Yeah.
and bring about that change. So it's good. It's good. I'm happy for all the progress that we have done.
I agree.
So what has been going on with you, Miss Vero?
What has not been going on with me is the question.
I know.
Just a lot going on personally, a lot going on with work. Um, it's pretty overwhelming, but we've managed to stay above water and keep pushing through. Um, hearing the messages and knowing that, what people are going through is kind of puts lights a fire under me and pushes me through my days. So yeah, it's a lot. We're as educators in the classroom. There's so many of us that are feeling like we're drowning, and it's tough to see your coworkers that are amazing at what they do and are dedicated and just awesome people struggle so much to make it through a day. So, just knowing that people are in need and struggling, it makes it all that we do worthwhile. So, it does take time away from our families, obviously, and take time away. I mean, I have a 13-year-old who is in every sport available to mankind. And so he takes up a lot of time. He's very active, and of course that's a blessing, but it pulls me away a lot. And so it takes time away from our families. Especially me with the young one. And but it's worth it when we see that when we hear the comments from members and educators thanking us for speaking up because they're afraid to, or for whatever message it is that we got across. It's good to know that it's appreciated and that we're making a difference. So yeah, it's been something, Ida.
Yeah, it has. But you've been surviving. You've been making it through, and we're going to continue. We're going to continue to support one another and help each other. You know, it's good to know you're not alone.
Yeah,
And
it's good to know you're not alone. It's good to know that people are out there and watching you and appreciate what you're doing. It's good to know that people are losing their fear and starting to speak up for themselves, um, because that's really what we want, to empower people to be able to do on their own.
yeah,
So it's nice to know that that is already, we see that happening already.
yeah, absolutely. So I don't know if you want to do just a quick
Some of the
of the
messages.
messages. Yeah,
Good evening, amazing people. Hello, Mr. Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Hello, ladies. Hello, Ram. Diana Hernandez. I need a shirt. Me too. It's just Cisneros hasn't logged in yet.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Nelda. Come by FNS, Ida.
Okay. Got you, Miss Diana.
She's taking notes. She's taking notes, guys. Miss Murillo.
Hi, Miss Murillo.
Good evening, amazing and powerful women. Great seeing you the other night. Thank you, Miss Tejeda.
Hi, Mercy. Thank you for speaking up and for taking action and being there that night. That was
Yes,
awesome.
we had a nice little conversation afterwards.
Yes.
Yes. Good evening. Thank you for going the extra mile, ladies. Thank you, Miss Tanya, for being a part of it as well. Good evening, Vero and Ida. Good evening, Yvonne. Ms. Rocha, how are teachers feeling about the grant requiring everyone to have a formal evaluation?
That's an interesting question. What's amazing is that this week I was at some different campuses and stuff, and some people uh, were talking about how they just did their formal evaluation. I mean, it's like, okay, we're in April. That is kind of defeating the purpose of what that is supposed to serve. So that is unacceptable, and that is something that I am going to let curriculum know about that, because what is the point of doing a formal evaluation at this point, in the game? I mean, it's a little too late. And then still, there is some that are being done without any feedback or reviews being done. So again, it's defeating the purpose of what it's supposed to do. And I mean, you just went through the whole process of stressing out your teacher to do that, and it didn't serve the purpose of what we're supposed to be accomplishing there. But if that's happening with you guys, please let us know. They should not be doing any evaluations with them not giving you proper feedback on it or meeting with you on it.
Mhm.
So that there's no point to put you all through that extra stress, and for there not to be anything positive that comes out of it. So please do let us know if that is happening to you.
Miss Virginia, hello, ladies. Miss Maggie, I need a shirt that says Ida can have my 3 minutes. Amen. We're gonna work on it.
I know.
Hi, Miss Estrada, Miss Linda Estrada, our vice president for state. That's a great idea for a shirt. Pack fundraiser, vote education first. Yes. Good evening, ladies. Good evening, Miss Parker. She is a fellow special ed teacher.
Nice, nice, Miss Parker.
Parker.
Thank you for everything y'all do.
All right, Miss Ida. Let's
First
get
topic.
into it.
First topic. The campus consolidations, or what are they calling it?
Unification.
There we go. I think everybody has heard about that and how upset everybody was, and all the rumors that are going on right now. And it was like we said there that night of the budget workshop. And yes, I was the person who spoke, but it was, first of all, Miss Beto had lost her voice,
Oh, yeah.
literally.
I didn't have a voice.
Literally, yeah, lost her voice that day. And so it was all of us together that had been talking about the different things, and then text messages from some members and stuff. And that's why you always will see me like writing things down or like getting my phone, because people are texting me. And it was all those different points that I was able to speak on were because everybody gave me different information,
Hmm.
and I just go out there and able to get the message across, after a lot of praying that I would calm down, because it was really upsetting to see how in the February budget workshop they were talking about Dr. Gutierrez's words were that they were going to look at the fall of 2022 to start planning and see which campuses were going to be consolidated, and that nothing was going to be done for this coming year because the students have been through too much already. Those were his words that he said it. And you all can go back and view it on YouTube, the budget workshop committee meeting, or whatever. It's not a workshop, it's a committee meeting in February. And you will see that those were his words saying that. And then all of a sudden, here we come into this meeting, and we see, and I mean, honestly, we couldn't believe it. I first thought it was a typo. When I saw the year up there, I was like, oh my gosh, they did a typo. They did the wrong year up there. But then I noticed they just kept going along and along with it, and this and that. I was like, oh my goodness, these people are proposing this for this uh, coming year, because I saw, how they were going to do the community meetings starting April. So they would have started the community meetings this week. And so then it was like, wow, never did they say or address of why they decided to move it up, or, hey, because of this or nothing. Just like, hey, nobody's going to notice, and we're just going to put it in here and talk about how which campuses are going to be consolidated, which programs, and things like that. Real smooth. So, I mean, it was very upsetting. And then when you start to look at the big picture and you start to see which campuses, um, and you started to see like a pattern. It's, economically disadvantaged campuses that mostly have economically disadvantaged students, at-risk students, special needs students. So, I mean, was it strategic that they were thinking that these campuses wouldn't have parents that would come forward or be vocal to, be coming out and saying, that they don't want this, they don't want these consolidations, or what was the reasoning behind picking these campuses? Because, like I also mentioned, and in reaching out and talking to employees from these campuses, it's which is something that they should have done. Talk to some of these employees for input, because some of the best ideas come from the people that are in the front line, the ones that are actually doing the work,
Right.
the ones that know what they're facing, what they're dealing with, since they've had to work in the classroom through a pandemic, or on a campus through a pandemic, short staffed, and still continue to work through all of these different obstacles. If you touch base with them and you actually find out what they're going through, they'll tell you what they need to be successful. So none of that was done, but since that committee meeting, we made it a point to start reaching out to some of these employees from these campuses, to some parents as well,
Hmm.
and we're having the conversation of, what they feel. And come to find out that at Cromac, they invested so much into that campus. Besides the whole 90,000 that went into the library, the they also got a new playground. Okay, they got a new intercom system. They got new canopies for all the sidewalk areas. Yeah, they put new windows all throughout the campus. New windows. And I mean, all of that they did, besides other little things of fixing it up, but those are the major renovations and improvements that were done to the campus. The library alone was 90,000. So I can only imagine what all of that totals up to, which, we plan to do a public information request to find out. But how can you put all of that money into it and then say, "Oh, we're going to close that campus. We're going to consolidate it with Castañeda." I mean,
Unified.
yeah, sorry, unify the campuses. And I mean, it's like, what kind of planning is that? What research was done in that?
So I did actually have more than one person, and not necessarily all members, ask about that decision. Is there a committee that makes this decision? Who decides what campuses? And like you just said, like based on what?
Yeah.
Like what are the requirements for the campus to fall into this unification process? Um, and I mean that's a great question. Like who is on, is there a committee? What is the decision based on? Is there certain criteria that they have to fall under, that uh they have to meet or whatever to
Hmm.
be the campuses that are chosen? Or like where is this decision coming from? Where is it from? And I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who provided this input? I mean, what? What information did they consider before they selected these campuses? Because I'd understand if they had dropped a lot and it was almost to none in enrollment, but their numbers are up there
Yeah.
still.
I think what I saw was like in the 400s
Yeah, exactly.
each campus.
And what we're doing and we're going to continue to do, because we just believe it was just a wrong process that the superintendent took on this. But we're going to start rallying up parents, community members about this, because they're the taxpayers. They are stakeholders in this as well. And it's not whatever occurs to them, and just because I've circled the campuses, and I've checked on the areas, and yes, those two campuses are, like, very close to each other. It's like one big area, but it is still two separate campuses.
Hmm.
And in talking to some of the parents and some staff members also, how they mentioned that a lot of those parents pass on their school uniform to the other younger sibling, because that's what they have to do in order to be able to afford those uniforms. So that's a reason that they keep students at those same campuses and things like that. So it's just very wrong, and very it's a it's very disrespectful. And to me, I mean, it's like a slap in the face to the employees and the parents and community members, saying, "Oh, this is what we decided." And not to even mention, which we're also going to go there, but to the Cromack family, you know, that land, and we're in the process of looking into that as well. But that land was donated to the district. So we're doing our homework, unlike, which is what the superintendent should have done. But it's just very, very wrong. And then again, the timing on it, right before testing. So it's like, it doesn't matter. It's never a perfect time for something like that. But right before testing, really, can we kick them while we're down even more?
Yeah, we're like 20 plus days away from
Yeah,
testing.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, oh, you guys are not stressed out enough. You think
Oh,
that
we don't have any stress. What
I
are you
know,
talking
right?
about?
Exactly. And do you think that the students don't end up finding out, that they're
Yes,
saying,
of
like, hey,
course.
well, what's going to happen? They're going to close my school. They don't they don't understand everything about it, but just that, hey, they're closing my school. Oh, but focus on the test, you know. So, but let's read some of the comments, and then so we can continue.
What is the purpose of using both renovated libraries? Doesn't it cost to keep, I guess, both open, utilities, etc.?
Uh, I guess on the two campuses, I don't know that they would keep both of them open. I don't think so, because apparently it's. And then again, they did not go into
Specifics.
specifics on it. They talked about just what they presented were some of the top positions, of which ones were going to be transferred out. And so there's still a lot of positions in there that weren't talked about. You have the secretaries, you have the clerks, you have certain teachers, your fine arts, your music teacher. What happens there, with the unification of campuses?
Miss Ida, your memory is great. I love that you remember his words from last meeting.
Oh, those are They're special words. I'm gonna just
The
say that.
comment to use both after consolidation does not make sense.
Oh, I guess that they mentioned about using both libraries.
I don't know. I was sweating. I was so upset. So it's like you told them it's the lack of planning on their part that is infuriating. Yes, it is.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of these things work. They roll out things in the last minute and then, just like expect like that nobody else had any other plans.
Yep. Ida, all of what you said about as far as children, I think falls under federal funding. Yes, have parents from each of the campuses at the next meeting. Way back when one was mainly a migrant school. Yep,
Yes.
that is correct.
Yep.
That is correct, Mundo. I love what you told them. Combining and unifying, it's still a kick to these folks. Yes, it is.
Hmm.
And the superintendent mentioned that he didn't know they were so close to each other. Is he not familiar with all the campuses?
And not only that, uh, the cafeteria at Castañeda cannot house that many students. So what is the plan on that? They literally cannot be in there. Not that amount of students if you combine both of them.
I guess we do not need two deputy superintendents.
Maybe they can be unified.
He mentioned that they would use both during the budget meeting.
Oh wow. Okay.
The savings is not on utilities or buildings, the savings is on salaries. They want to save money on people.
Exactly, and that's why I mentioned there about I believe it was 100 and I don't remember 142 I think positions that have not been filled that are still vacant, but yet you're
Actually, I think
supposed.
it might have been more, Ida, because I think that was only, I want to say, from what I remember, that was only in SPED.
Okay,
That didn't include like some other positions. So I want
which
to say it was more.
whichever amount it is, it's
Yeah.
unacceptable because how are you supposed to do your job?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to be able to be successful at what you're doing? Like, for example, at one of the campuses, in fact, Castañeda, they don't have the parent liaison there. And that's the person that helps to call for attendance.
And helps to do home visits and all that. Yeah.
Yes. How you're at a campus, Vero. How important is that for the students to be there and to help to try to get these students to come, to
Uh,
follow up on them, see what's going on? Is there an issue in the family? What is happening that the students are not coming to school?
Not only that, they're also the person that contacts pupil services or PEMS to make sure that any letters for truancy are sent out, home visits are made for them to sign. Um, Teachers don't have time for that. That's what that person is there to do specifically, and that takes up a lot of time.
Hmm. And, and that's the thing. Every position is important
Yeah.
because if it would have been a top position, are they going to leave that vacant? And then even at that I am grateful that some of the board members did reach out that night and some even the next day in the morning, and they said that they were going to put this on hold, and it did happen. But what does that mean to those people at that campus?
Yeah, they
Now they're
already heard it. They already
Yeah,
heard it.
so they already know they administration did a full plan as to how they're going to unify these campuses.
Hmm.
They already have that in their head. So I mean, you tell me if the superintendent or deputy superintendent knew, one of the deputy superintendents knew that they were going to close one of their positions. Are they going to be going to work giving it 100%, or are they going to be trying to find employment elsewhere? They're going to be looking elsewhere. They're going to be looking out for themselves, because you know what? They got bills to pay or whatever obligations they have. That's the same thing with these employees. How can you put something like that, something not even halfway thought through of this plan? I mean, it looked like it was just put together at the very last minute. How can you throw that out there to these employees and the community, and then expect and say, oh, okay, well, no, it's not going to happen after all?
Right. Just kidding.
Just kidding. Go back to work. Go continue and do an amazing job. I mean, come on. How fair is that to them? I would
Well,
love for them to put themselves in those people's shoes and think about what they did to them.
yeah. And
As if
morale is already low across the district.
exactly, as if they were not having a hard enough time dealing with family illnesses because of COVID.
Yep.
Some people losing people in their family.
Yep.
All the obstacles that are now being thrown at them at the workplace of working overload, all of this, and they're surviving, they're hanging on. They're not one of the 502 employees that are going to leave by the end of the year. But with that, now you throw this on top,
Yeah.
and then oh, just kidding, it's not going to happen. Which, you know what? Thank God it didn't, because it was
Right.
not well thought out. But still, what did that do to those employees? How
Yeah.
fair is that? That's what's upsetting. It's very upsetting. And we all need to be at the next budget meeting.
Yep.
We need to be there together and voice our concerns on how we feel. I mean, we voice it for you, but the more the better. It's just, and I know the fear of retaliation, I do. But had we not been there that night, or had not caught that, which I don't know how all the other associations did not jump on this as well and did not speak on it. That was not right either. But they would have gone through with it.
Right. This past Tuesday would have been a different type of meeting.
Absolutely. So that's what we need to think about. When is enough enough? We need to show this superintendent that BISD, it's our BISD. And I might not be from Brownsville. I live in Wesco, but I feel I belong more to Brownsville than what he does, because I take the time to get to know the people, the members, the issues. I knew that Cromac and Castañeda were right next to each other, and I don't get paid $400,000 a year. So he needs to put in a little bit more effort.
Speaking of, when are we going to talk about salaries at the top?
Yeah.
Great question. During the budget meeting, it was said how they would use both campus facilities and personnel. The savings are not on buildings or utilities, the savings are on people. Miss Salceda, you all are wonderful. Thank you, Miss Salceda.
Thank you.
The three people at the top are aliens to Brownsville. During the budget meeting, administrators said they toured both campuses.
I think probably for the first time.
Mausers. I was typing too fast that I had to do it twice, like writing speeches while listening to reports at the board meeting.
And you did great, Miss
Yes,
Tanya.
you did.
Thank you so much.
You
Miss
sure
Tanya,
did.
Miss Tanya has been very vocal on the other issue of the copiers and the toner shortage that has been going on. So we thank you for taking action on that.
Yep. Talk about the salary of the three people at the top of BISD versus salaries of two campuses to combine. Yep.
Definitely.
At the next board meeting. The hold happened because the community reacted. Their association reached out to board members. When people show up and speak out, things happen. Yes, ma'am. Very true. Very, very true. I'm sorry they treated you so poorly, Miss Ida. You did not deserve that.
Thank you.
That's Miss Lupita. Hi, Miss Lupita.
Hi.
Put the consolidation right before testing. Those teachers are now not at ease. Just concentrate on testing. Take parents to next budget meeting. Yes. Budget, not bucket. I got you. I got it. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm clearing my throat. We need to show up and show them that Ida isn't speaking alone. That's right.
That's right.
Michelle Luna, I'm at a campus with about 400 enrollment. Talk about adding more stress and anxiety to an already stressful school year. Amen.
Absolutely, Michelle.
And that's what we're saying.
That's what's so
But
upsetting.
it's Miss Parker. We are all stretched so thin this year. I could tell you stories, but I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Hang in there, Miss Parker.
Miss Lupita, is the super also going to make less in the summer and the deputies?
Oh, yeah. You heard that
That's
one?
another thing. That's another thing. The positions that are not directly servicing students on a daily basis at the Glass Palace should be the first to be evaluated for unification, Ms. Nelda. That's the word we're using. Unification. The budget meeting showed a large group of yellow. We need to show a wave of yellow and blue. Miss Murillo, yes, Ida, you are Brownsville because you are involved with the employees. 418K a year is 34K a month. That's what he earns.
Yep. Let that sink in. And you
Yep.
don't know that these two campuses were that close to each other? I mean, come on. Yeah. Are you caught up on the messages?
Yes.
Okay. What I want to also want to talk about was about how I mentioned that Tanya has been very vocal about the toners and she's been helping out a lot with that. I don't know if y'all caught how they were talking about Dr. Cantu, one of the deputies, was talking about how they did walkthroughs at the campuses because they had gotten the reports that some campuses were without toners and the copiers were down. Okay, so that report came from us. We got it to school board members and to have them take action because we found out that some copiers had been down for 2 to 3 months. And what happened was that they replaced copiers that were very, very outdated. At, sorry, there goes my dogs. They get just as emotional as I do.
Yep. Very passionate.
They hate the copier situation too.
They're pissed about the toner.
Get pissed too. My God. So, so anyway, they replaced these copiers, and the company forgot to say, "Oh, by the way, the toner for these copiers are going to be on back order for about 2 to 3 months." Okay, because of the shortage. Okay, so yeah, you know what? They cannot be blamed for the shortage, but how do you replace copiers into campuses when there is going to be no toner available for these copiers?
Mhm.
So, my thing is, okay, I think they would have rather had the old copiers a little bit longer until they could stock up on toner and they could provide for all these campuses. But anyway, so we reported that, and then the superintendent's office called these campuses to find out. They panicked. Some of these campuses said, no, yes, we do have toner, this and that, because what they were counting was that there was one copier running in the campus. which was the office. Our point was that the copier that was for the teachers was the one that was down. So the teachers did not have a copier. And the reason that we know that is because we asked and we sent out a survey and we asked how many campuses were had their copiers down due to toner. Not that it breaks down, because we know copiers break down all the time. We're
all the
talking,
time.
yeah, but at least it's just maybe 2 days or whatever, and then they get it fixed or whatever. But
Right.
we're talking, 2 to 3 months that are without a copier due to the toner shortage. So so some of them said yes and whatever. So again, we go and we're checking with different teachers. Hey, is the copier up in your campus? Some of them sent me pictures of it where it says out of toner,
Or
or
you need a code or something.
uh-huh. So different things. So in reporting that information, we take it back to school board members, and they look into it. And so that is why Dr. Cantu reported on that. It was so upsetting to hear that when they said that they did their walkthroughs at the campuses, that none of the campuses were without toner, that they didn't have backup toner, but that they all the copiers had toner. And that was, I'm sorry, but it was that's a straight out lie, because
Yeah,
it's not.
I was at I think it was Walmart, or I'm not sure where I was, somewhere buying stuff I probably didn't need.
Okay.
Um and I actually had a parent that I know, who is a parent but also a parent volunteer, say that they couldn't believe that it was said that there was no campus without toner, when she was a parent volunteer at a campus and she knew there was no toner because she's working at the campus as a volunteer
Yep.
and would usually help to make bulk copies. But since there was no toner, she couldn't make copies.
Yep.
So she could not believe that that was said. And apparently, that was also brought up when they had their meeting with the parent volunteers. And they were just kind of like, no, 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 there's toner. They
Yeah.
know. They know. They're in the campus just like the teachers are in the campus. So how can you sit there and say, I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah. That it's exactly what I got as well from different people. You know, afterwards, it's like, that's a lie. That is a lie. It is not true. And the thing is, you know what? Don't take it personal. Just fix the darn problem. Fix the darn problem. For one, I would want for them not to have to pay that lease for those months, because that company should not have replaced those copiers when there was going to be no toner available. And then I even wrote down when she said uh, that it comes with 60,000 impressions. That's how long the toner that came with the copier lasts. Those were Dr. Cantu's uh, words. 60,000 impressions is what it does. So I guess maybe that's 60,000 copies. It lasted an average of, because I asked different teachers from those campuses, it lasted an average of 2 weeks. I don't care if it's whatever thousands of impressions, it lasted 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, the toner that came with those copiers ran out.
And that makes sense, Ida. Let's say you have a campus that has 60 employees, right? 60, 50 classroom teachers,
Mhm.
right? Each teacher at an elementary has about 25 kids, right? Let
Mhm.
me get my phone so we can do the math. So we have 50 teachers, and that's being somewhat conservative. 50 and they have 25, right? So that's 1,250. So you have to think, okay, they're going to make copies for math, they're going to make copies for reading,
Mhm.
but it's not just one page,
Yeah.
right? So usually you make a packet of about 8 to 10 pages. So let's say 1,250 times 10 pages for math. That's math. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Then again, you have another 1,250 times 10 for reading.
Mhm.
Then you have science, another 1,250 times 10.
Mhm. Where are you at?
Hold on, I don't know. Something happened to my screen. Do you still see me?
Yeah, I see.
Okay. It like took me into another Zoom link or something. Okay. Weird. Anyway, I lost count now because if it's doing it again.
I don't know. Are you maybe like at the top? Is it going to something
Taking
else?
me into a Teams meeting. And I haven't even clicked on my computer. Weird. I lost count. All right. 50 times 25 is 1,250. 1,250 times 10, 12,500. That's just for math.
Wow.
Times, that's just for math. So you have reading, math, science, social studies. That's four. Those are
Uh-huh.
the main ones. So 12,500 times four. That's 50,000 copies for 1 week.
Wow.
And that's being conservative.
Wow. That
So
yeah.
yeah, 60,000 copies would go right away.
But I know why she said it like that because it sounded like so much. But when you start to break it down, it's not. It's not a whole lot. And you know what? This isn't a personal attack on her. Just fix the problem. Stop trying to paint it that it's so perfect out there. Because how are these teachers supposed to do their job when they don't have access to a copier? And so, what were some of these teachers doing, Vero? What did you do to be able to get your
Spending
copy?
our own money to go make copies to make sure we're ready for our kids.
Yep.
And
Yep.
we do it because there are kids and we need to be prepared. And I mean, what are you going to do?
Yep.
You're going to do what you have to do. Well,
Yeah. And then you have some of the parents. These people think that they're. I'm telling you, they're very
we don't
passionate.
agree.
Yeah. She's passionate. Hold on.
She's like, you keep telling them, Mama. You keep telling them.
Don't let her get near that superintendent. But no, the thing is that they think that the community doesn't.
And then she's going to get mine started. Let me read some of the comments, Ida. What are other allowances given to our superintendent besides his salary? That's a very passionate cheekies there. After 28 years, I have a master's degree in troubleshooting a copier. Yes, we do. We know how to fix them. You know, and it's, I mean, it even tells you what number to pull out, and you have to open up and pull, and the tab, and we get it done
Yep. Yeah. Think y'all have a
because the
doctor in
copier in the office has backup toner.
high.
Ms. Rocha, 30-page benchmark front and back times a campus. Adds up quickly.
Very quickly.
Mhm. Good evening, good, beautiful evening, ladies. So sad to see what's been going on with the district and seeing so many staff so drained, scared, and tired. I'm so proud to see you going out there and keep doing what needs to be done for the members. You go, girls. Thank you, Miss Jaimes. We miss you. Middle school gets also middle school gets also has social studies.
Probably middle school also has social studies.
Yeah, those are the four subjects. The public doesn't understand how many copies are used regularly. Yeah. And I was being conservative with 10 pages for the week because it's usually more than that. But I mean, that was already 50,000 at 10 pages. So the
Absolutely.
toner was in a closet, or the toner was misplaced, or the toner was received by someone who didn't know it was toner, or all the scenarios were ridiculous.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lucero, because I thought the same thing. I was like, wow. But the toner was there. But the bottom line is the toner was not in the copier. That's I don't care where it was at, if it was even there. But they need to understand though how some of the people at the campus panic when they're calling about this.
Yeah.
And you know what? And that's where we make sure that that there we're not to be blamed for this, because it wasn't the campus's fault. It was between the company and it's the company, and I'm sorry because it falls under Dr. Cantu, but this was a huge contract. This is a huge contract with that company, the copier company. So I have to blame it with Dr. Cantu's department and that company. It's not the principal, not the secretary, not purchasing. I'm sorry. This is a huge contract, and they dropped the ball there.
Yes, I did. Miss Maggie, someone from the Erasmo show sent me the following hashtags. Okay, they're coming. They're coming. Oops, typos, Nelda. I think we figured it out, Nelda. Hashtag know your worth. Hashtag speak your worth. Miss Mercy, my pup going crazy here at the computer listening to your puppy. I know. I'm surprised mine hasn't started because usually when Ida starts, mine starts because he can hear, and mine is like attached at the hip over here. He's like big time mama's boy,
I'm
and so I'm
sorry,
super
Mercy.
surprised. And then right now, Ethan, I we're on the show, and Ethan had a soccer game that I missed, so my mom's dropping him off, and right now when he walks in, they're gonna start going crazy. So I'm like, I already texted my mom. He needs to come in super quiet, and I'm probably gonna mute myself because I don't want you to hear them going because they
Yeah.
go all crazy.
And then her puppies start, and so do mine. It's
Yeah,
like, oh my
it's
gosh.
like a domino effect. The good thing is though, Miss Mercy, is that we can't hear yours,
Yeah.
so ours are not gonna get riled up because of yours. But you
I'm
know what?
so sorry.
I gotta tell you, I convinced Ida to get her first baby, and these babies are lifesavers.
Yep.
They really are.
Yeah.
Um, I highly recommend a pet. It does help with your stress level. It does help with so many things. Blood pressure, it's been scientifically proven. I know Miss Maggie is a huge advocate for one of our local shelters. But I mean, adopt, don't shop, guys. And honestly, they unconditional love, super loyal, bring down your blood pressure,
Yep.
save the day kind of babies. So I would
Absolutely.
life would not be the same without them. Even though they drive us a little crazy when they get passionate during our show.
Yeah. Yes. And they're a lot of work. They are, but so well worth it.
Yep. Miss Maggie, BISD employees, you need to know your worth and speak your worth. They need to recognize that the people in the trenches are who made BISD the best damn choice. It's not anything they're doing. See,
That's
and
right.
here's another thing. I know that I've heard a lot of people, like people make a lot of comments about how all these awards are given to like the people at main office, but they never actually bring in the people that are in the classroom working with the kids, making those awards possible. And so I get it, like I understand what they're saying. Like, um, we're the ones making that possible. Why aren't we called in or
Yeah.
Why don't they even come and bring us coffee or bring us donuts or bring us something? We don't
Mhm.
get an award, you know what I mean? Like, and I get it. Like, it's true.
Yeah.
Miss Parker, yes, I love my two cats. I talk to them.
Aw.
You know what's super funny is that I'm not a cat person. I'm sorry to say I'm a dog lover. That's since I was little. But I know I told Miss Ida, and if you're on my Facebook, you saw that there's a stray cat that had babies here in my yard, and of course I ended up like every day babysitting, like making sure, trying to be a good cat mom, even though I'm not a cat mom. Found them all homes, like,
Aw.
but they actually helped me also relax. Like, I would go outside once they were a little bit older and play with them just so they would be used to hands when they would go to the home that they were going to go to. And I mean, they helped me relax too. So I think just the petting of the animals is kind of like brings you down. You know what I mean? I wish I could take my babies to school with me.
I know. I agree, especially like, my job is very stressful because, sometimes I feel like, we're just spinning our wheels and stuff, and to hear some of these stories there, it's just heartbreaking and stuff. So to have sometimes, phone call after phone call of things like that, of people feeling defeated, but then to turn around to my little babies, my fur babies, oh my gosh, they can just they can make me smile. I mean, and just the crazy things that they do and stuff. So I just love them to death. So yes, I owe you a big one, Beto, for convincing me. Yes.
And then we convinced your sister,
Yep. Oh, and
and
she's
we just kept
totally
going.
obsessed. Yeah, totally obsessed. Yeah, and
I
and
know.
and my son also. So no, we're all major. We have all majorly changed.
Yep. Miss Mercy, I agree. Ours was a rescue that my daughter rescued 7 years ago. She is now off in her own place with her own rescue dogs, and my hubby didn't let her take her. He is enamored with her. Yep. Big time puppy love. And here we go with Miss Maggie. Yes, Brownsville Animal Defense needs foster homes for the animals they are saving. They also need food, dog bowls, anything you can donate to them. I
Thank
am
you.
100% in favor of pets. And I think that is a huge part of self care and self love because they do really, truly, honestly help
Yeah,
with stress levels and everything else. I
yeah.
cry with them and they don't judge me. My babies. Miss Gloria Garcia. Hola, ladies. Hello. All right, Miss Ida. We have hit. Miss Maggie is now going to be very vocal. Miss Maggie has been very vocal for a while and she did an
Yeah.
awesome job speaking.
Oh, it was
And
beautiful.
yes, so
She
I love
spoke
it.
she spoke from the heart, and only, how she felt, and I think like she connected with what a lot of people are feeling out there, and she's walking away from the profession, unfortunately. uh doesn't, how she mentioned, she doesn't know what she's going to do for insurance and all these things, but because they did this to her, they
Right.
really did this to her. I just wish, oh my gosh, I just wish, and I continue to pray for it, just that they would realize that they just need to connect with the frontline people. They just need to be able to listen to what they're going through. Nobody's going to know more of what they need than themselves, the people that are going through the hard time. And one thing that they preach so much about is, oh, being transparent and this and that, but yet they came up with a full plan of which ones were going to be consolidated, and yet didn't announce it to anybody except for like a few hours before it was presented at the budget committee meeting. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's sad. So if they continue to do this, they're going to continue to do it as long as we continue to let them. We need to say enough is enough. And that's why we're going to continue to try to engage people and encourage them to speak up. We're going to find those parents that are going to speak up on it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do that.
Yep.
Oh,
Miss Maggie and folks, my knees were shaking uncontrollably. It's not that I wasn't afraid to talk. I was very nervous. Yeah, she was nervous. But she did amazing. She did an amazing job. Yes, I agree with you, Miss Guillen. Hi, Miss Guillen, another one of my fellow special ed teachers. Maggie did an amazing job speaking out. We are losing such a dedicated employee. We're not only losing a dedicated employee, we are losing a wealth of knowledge. And I mean, what an asset. And it's really sad. Hi, cosera. Some fur babies are like grandbabies. I have both, so I get the best of both worlds. Hoy la chiquis. She's
sí.
jealous.
I know, pero es que se están peleando.
Oh, look, Ethan's walking in. So you're going to hear it. Let's see. Like, and he's supposedly walking in real quiet.
So they're going to start up. But
Yes.
we're going to go ahead and start finishing up the show. The next meeting, the next show, which will be the third Thursday, we're going to talk about the ESSER funding and what they're doing with this of moving the allocations of staff from local funds to the ESSER funds. Oh, he's tired. Do you see him yawn? So
He's like, Mama, I'm sleepy.
that'll be on the next show, and we're going to talk about that. It's just very wrong with what they're doing. They're manipulating the system. That wasn't what it was for.
Yeah.
Uh, so we're gonna touch on that in the next one.
Jack Cameron Bean. BISD has 200 plus $1 million in funding, and teachers get average of 50,000 a year. Yet superintendent gets 300 plus thousand a year and doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he has two deputies.
But it's not just me. We are losing 502 dedicated employees with the wealth of knowledge. That is correct. That is absolutely correct. See, because he's here.
Yeah. So before they all start,
And then we have Miss Gorgeous Cheekies. That's Chico right there, Miss Virginia.
this
And
was
this,
Chico.
look, and mine. Come here, Coco. And let me show you my baby too. Miss Guillen, thank you for all your hard work, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
You
what
know,
you do.
you guys floor us. So you guys give us the strength and the courage to go on. This is Coco. Oh my god. He's excited because he was waiting in his room. Hold on, let's see right
On
here.
summer school pay.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Yes, we're going to talk about salary compression. That is a huge issue, and what we're talking about there is where our tenured employees are not are making almost as much as what our new employees are coming in at. So that is something that we are looking at. That we're researching different ones, different individual cases where and what we're trying to prove there is the salary compression, and that's why we're not in support of this compensation plan that was approved by TASB, because that's what it creates. So we are looking into that, and we'll talk on the next show more on the finances side with ESSER and salary compression that is going to be scheduled on the
Summer school pay, Miss Ida.
summer school pay. That what they proposed is for certified $35. And when I believe, I want to say it was Daniela that asked, how is it that we're going back to 35? And he says, well, no, we used to be at 30, but that he compared it with surrounding districts. That he compared it with surrounding districts, and it is pretty comparable to surrounding districts. Keep in mind, though, his salary is not comparable to surrounding districts, but that's okay. So when he wants to continue to set that level of, well, the surrounding districts are getting paid, well, then why don't we pay you like the surrounding districts?
Hmm.
If that's what we're doing, let's do that then.
Well, I mean, if that's what the criteria is based on for raises and substitute pay and all that other stuff, well, then that should be the criteria for him too, no?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So so it's going to be at $35 an hour. So he said he was very proud of that $5 increase. And then for the
But
classified,
he didn't. When is he claiming this $5 increase occurred?
well, that before last year it was at $30, and then it went up to the $50 this past summer for one of the programs only, and then they moved it back. But now they're moving it to 35. It's so there's where he's claiming the $5 increase, and then on the classified, uh, that it's at 12. He's going to see what can be done where it will be. He's going to try to get it up to 15, but he cannot guarantee it because
Well,
he's probably
people are not going to want to work at school for that, and they can go work at Target for $24.
absolutely.
Jasper ISD School Board voted in favor of a 4-day school week and is paying teachers $3,000 retention stipend.
I believe it.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Miss YouTube, Mr. YouTube, whoever, Mr.
I mean,
YouTube
you don't
user.
have to go that far. In Donna, they're doing the 3,000 per year for the 3 years, so it's a total of 9,000. That's a retention stipend. That's using the ESSER funds on what it was meant to be used for, retention.
Jack Cameron Bean, classes with an average of 15 students perform and test better. That's proven across the country. Consolidating will pack the classes and dumb down the students. We brought that up, so we shall see.
Absolutely.
We totally agree with you. TASB is supposed to be an advisory board, not run the BISD district.
Absolutely, Ms. Rocha.
34,000 a month. Let that sink in.
That's right, Ms.
If
Maggie.
they are only going to follow TASB, then why do we need this board and administration?
Yep.
When is the next budget meeting, Ms. Ida?
I believe it has, I don't know if it's been set, but we will post it online on that, because we do need to try to have as many people as we can. There is a special called board meeting coming up on the 12th, but it's going to be at 1 o'clock. So God willing, I will be there um, for that.
What was the date again, Ida?
The 12th, this coming week on Tuesday,
April 12th?
is a school board meeting, but it's a special called school board meeting, they said.
Special called school board meeting. I'm putting it in the chat so that it could be saved in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. Ms. Rocha, any news updates on election candidates for the board?
Not yet, because so far we still don't know everybody who is running. I know there is some that are running. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see if they have posted anything for the next budget. But no, I don't see it.
Ms. Blanca Novello, it should be $40. Meet in the middle before COVID and last year's $50.
Excellent point. Excellent point, Blanca.
Miss Micaela, thank you, ladies, for everything you do. Thank you, Miss Micaela.
Thank you, Michaela, for speaking as well at the board meeting.
Yes. Why are campuses holding students in blocks for test, kill, and drill? What research says that really works? So, we did have I did have a parent reach out and ask that. They're having teachers that teach, for example, history or social studies, they're now teaching math during that period. So we did have people reach out for that.
And there's also some campuses that are they are not doing the rotations, or they're pulling their students out of library and fine arts
Hmm.
classes. And on some of those, I mean, they're even doing that to special ed students. So that is a violation.
Yeah. We as a community have power. We are voters and can make a change for the better. That's right, Mr. Ram.
Absolutely.
We need to remember in November.
Yep.
Miss Torres, hello, ladies. Anything on higher substitute pay? Oh, we've been working on that too.
We've been working on that to try to help that, to help with the shortage. We've made the point of, you know what, some of these substitutes have, they have bills themselves, and if another school, another district is paying more, they're going to go to where they're paying more. But he doesn't budge. He doesn't budge.
Because it's comparable.
Hmm. It's comparable.
Ms. Rocha, the district claims to focus on research based innovative practices. And that's what I spoke on too, Ms. Ida. You know, all of these programs that they have, the teachers that they keep pressuring the teachers that the kids need to log in um, and get on. Where's
Yep.
the data to prove that those are even being effective? You're
Yep.
pressuring that they have to put all this time on these programs. It takes away time from their instruction.
Yep.
And where's the data to prove that that's being effective?
Absolutely. I agree.
I could
Where's
understand if the program was something that you could use during live instruction. It could be interactive lessons. I could get that. But when it's something and it's program after program after program after program that they log into on their own, I mean, where's the data to prove? Where's the research to show that that's effective or it's being effective?
yeah, show, and you know, on what basis do they make those decisions to go with those different platforms, those different programs? You know, it's just so frustrating.
They should be required to publicize their research. Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, they are spending tax dollar money, right?
Yeah.
You as a community have a right to request any information through public records. I mean, through public information. Show me the big bang for the buck. Yep, I agree. Any final words, Miss Ida?
um that's pretty much it. I mean, I encourage y'all to don't give up on this. I know it's very, very tough. It, you know, everybody's, you know, just counting it down as well, you know, ready for it to be summertime and stuff. But do know that, you know, you have you have an association that is here to help you, to help us unite and organize together, and you know, to use our voice. We have a lot of power, guys. We're so proud that our membership, over 90%, go out to vote. So if this board doesn't want to get on board with what needs to be done, then we know what we need to do. So you know, we need to think about that,
Yeah.
or else we're going to continue to get, you know, some of the same. So hang in there, and you know, reach out to us. If you're not a member, you can go to our website. It's there on the bottom, scrolling along. That's our website, and you can activate your membership there. Be part of the largest association in Brownsville, part of an association that listens to our members and the concerns that they bring to us. So please keep that in mind, and we hope you join the AOBE family if you're not already with us. So thank you
And
so much for everything.
Yes, let me go through the comments real quick before we get off. Stay awesome, ladies. Good night. Thank you, Miss Virginia.
Thank you,
Miss
Virginia.
Rocha, thank you, ladies. Thank you, Miss Rocha, for all your help. Miss Maggie wants to know, what are the fees for when you do public info request?
It depends. The fee will be on what it is that they have to get you. If it requires a lot of hours to pull that information for you, sometimes there is a fee. So it varies, but they have to give you a breakdown of what the fee is for.
YouTube user wants to know, they had seen approving mileage on the agenda. Is that for them, the super and the deputies? Just wondering.
That's an excellent question. It's for different people that are getting mileage reimbursement. Depending on what the U.S. rate is for the mileage, that's why they have to adjust it. But we are going to look into that to see if he does get mileage reimbursement.
You guys are amazing. Thank you, Miss Mirna Sertuche.
Thank you, Mirna.
Jack Cameron Bean, BISD only cares when it comes to the STAR testing. They focus on that more than teaching the kids actual curriculum. State funding and hoarding money for bonuses for the higher ups. Attendance matters when it's a state check-in, etc.
Very true.
YouTube user, is it true they extended his contract? I hope not.
Uh, not, no, they did not do that at this meeting. No.
Ms. Garcia, admins are required to drop off documents and pick up documents, and we do not get mileage.
Wow. That's very interesting. They cannot, they should not be able to require you to go and drop it off.
Ladies, it goes unspoken as I lay my head to rest at night. You're in my prayers, and I thank you for all that you do. Thank you so much, Miss Boss, Miss Mercy. We really appreciate you. You've been there the last couple of times, and we know, it's difficult sometimes, and people are afraid, but you were there. You stood with us, and it's appreciated.
Yes, you and Miss Angie.
Yes.
So tell her that we appreciate her too. So
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're glad to be back. We will be seeing you in 2 weeks. We will be talking about ESSER funding. I did post about the special called meeting that is on April 12th, next week. Tune in, guys. Be there. Show up. Miss Maggie has large sunglasses. If you want to come and you don't want to be seen, wear a mask, wear sunglasses, and wear a baseball cap. They'll never know who you are.
yes.
We're not joking. Like, we're
Yeah,
serious.
no, for real.
We're serious.
Yeah, she
So
got glasses for people.
she sure did. So thank you so much for joining us. Okay. Police reports are only given to admin, so we have to go. Documents need to be notarized, so we have to take them and pick them up.
Yeah. That's something that we definitely have to look into. It's not fair because certain people do get a mileage amount and stuff. So we do have to look into that. If they're forcing you to go and you're not getting mileage, that's not right.
Yeah. Miss Maggie, and baseball hats if teachers want to go incognito. That is correct. That is correct. So thank you everybody for joining us this evening. It's good to be back. Please know that we are here for you. Anything you need, contact us. Join us at the meetings. Wear blue. If you have the courage to speak, we'll stand behind you. And if you want to just stand behind us, we welcome that as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you and have a wonderful evening. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Good
Yes.
night.
Night.